Hi YouTubers, welcome to another servicing video from Sort6233. Today's project is I'm going to rebuild one of these. It's a Graham Farish maroon LMS tank engine. I'm not sure what the class is, and over the years the reason I've got this is I've accumulated a number of different spares. So I've worked out I've actually got enough to recreate this. I've got the lower cradle, pickup lock, centre drive wheels, front and rear, old style couplers and a couple of screws, and that will give me the lower armature cradle. And then I'll build up the upper armature cradle and put the two bits together, and hopefully this little thing will then run round the track again. Right, so let's get started. Take this away. First of all, I have here the lower cradle. I'm going to insert the drive wheel. Remembering this is upside down, on the coin rod, this little bit in front of the pin should face to the front. So put this in there. I don't think there's a lot of difference in these. The rear drive wheel and the front one. At this stage I need to insert the couplers, and this chassis at each end there's a little pip so that the coupler sits over it, and then I can insert the pickup bolt. That's actually, yeah. So this goes in here, the arms of course behind the drive wheels. I'm making sure that I've got it oriented in the correct way. That should sit in there nicely. And then it's just a case of making sure that the pickup arms go behind the wheels. And I think, oops, no. I've missed this front wheel. So gently ease it. Don't try and force it. Just try and ease it there. And sure enough, on this side, this one's come out. And you have to be very careful when you're doing this. Keep checking both sides. Couplers are in place. And then to hold the whole chassis together, this small screw fits into the rear locator. And that basically holds the thing together. Now to hold the front bit, this screw here would go through and actually screw into the body shell, but in order to hold it while I'm working, I'm going to hold it with a nut. That just keeps it together until I'm ready to put it all together. Right, now my next task is to hook up the coin rods to the front and rear drive wheels. And then these the coin rod is fitted over pins on each drive wheel. Turn it over, and the same on this side. Again, always be careful not to force things. That fits in here and here. That should be a nice free running lower chassis. I should perhaps have said that before starting, insert the clip and the capillary tube for the brush. So before I put it all together, I will put the brush and the spring in there. That's the lower chassis. Now I'm going to do the upper cradle. The cradle fits in at the back into these two raised pips, which is actually a slider. So putting the cradle on, pushing down on the brush and sliding it back into place. The cradle is now there, and it fits into a recess at the front, which is shaped, and it's held in place with the 10 BA bolt and nut. 10 BA bolt, 10 BA nut. This makes contact with the contact arms for the positive rail. This goes in here, and there we go. Maybe use it, and that's it, held in place. Sorry, held in place. And when it's due to run, there'll be a lead that goes from here wound through the back onto the positive pole. I've left the positive pole out to make it easier to fit, so quite simply take the capillary tube, feed that in, and then the brush is fed into the tube. Like so. It does go. Just talk among yourselves at the moment. That should just slide down in there. Good. And then the spring is inserted into the tube. Oops. Don't put too much pressure on it and make sure that it doesn't spring back. And then finally the saddle, which fits over the spring and the chassis and clips down. And that holds everything in place. And the armature, is now free to rotate. I'm now going to fit the pole pieces with the magnet, which I have misplaced somewhere. I got a magnet somewhere. So the pole pieces go in there. I'll put one onto one side, and the second one the opposite side. Yep. And the magnet sits there and holds it all in place. This is now in a situation that I should be able to apply power to see if the motor runs. So just taking my power supply, I've got it set to about 8 volts. One lead onto the negative pole, and there you can see it's trying to turn. So shall just hold it in my hand. Come on, baby. It was trying to work. And from a collection of, from a collection of spare bits and bobs, I think I might have a working tank engine. Okay, oh, that seems a bit slack, doesn't it? I think I'll put a better looking saddle on there. That's looking good. It's amazing what you can do with lots of bits and bobs. And there we have a nice working 060 in LMS maroon. Right, my next job will be to feed a wire from here through to there, and then I'll hopefully run it and test to see if it will run from the wheels, because I don't really know how good this contact plate is. Okay, I'll be back with you shortly. This little assembly here is a lead with a loop that goes around the 10BA bolt, and a soldered end or solder onto the top of here, and this clip which will fix to some chassis part, because this is the repression capacitor for interference suppression, so I want to get that in as well. Okay, so let me just fit that. Be back shortly. So I've got my built up chassis sitting there on the upline, so let me just apply some power, and away she goes. Easy as you like. I did think she was going to go in the opposite direction, but that's alright, I can change that round. And notwithstanding my rather handheld camera work and knocking a couple of boxes over, that's not too bad. So I'll just take her around once more. Can I get in a wee bit closer? Behind all the junk I've got on my layout at the moment. Yeah, looking pretty good. Okay, so what I'm going to do now is simply catch her first of all, bring her to a halt, change direction, and that looks pretty good. Nice, and I haven't applied any power at all. Yeah, so from a stack of pieces in a box to a working Graham Farish 060 black tank Loco. Right, okay, let's bring her round and we'll get the body on. And let's see her in her full glory. Body shell on. There is a missing buffer at the front. Inside you might just see that. But other than that, it's quite good. The steps are there. Paintwork could do a wee bit of touching up. And the front chimney has been broken off. I can attend to those little details later on. Okay, let's see her go. And away it goes. I think that's lovely. I'm going to try and find out where this would have worked in its prototype days. I imagine maybe a little branch line with a couple of wagons or coaches. So I think I'll make up a little LMS rake and see how it goes. I've got some maroon coaches, so I might just shove one or two in the back of that. So while I'm letting that run around the track a couple of times, I'm going to go to my stock box and try and find one or two coaches. In fact, next time as I come around, you might notice that in the siding we're just about to pass, coupled to the diesel, there are 4 LMS maroon coaches. I think they're Mark 1s. And so I'll just take a couple of those and see how it works with the little locomotive. You should go to that. That looks pretty nice, doesn't it? Yeah, I really like that. Well, thanks for joining me in my little journey of renovation of the little tank engine that sat there in bits. I had the body, so I thought I'd try and rebuild it. And just coupling some coaches there. That looks very nice indeed. That's going to look nice when I get my layout done. I'm bound to have a little LMS section or running session or something. Okay, well thanks again for watching, people. Glad you could join me. Hope you liked that. I always find these are a bit rough and ready when I'm doing these. My editing's not that good, but it's a basic concept, I believe, of just lovingly restoring a nice little locomotive to working order. That's where I get my enjoyment, and I hope you do too. So if you want to see more, please check out the other videos that I've got. Subscribe if you can. Please give me a like, and if you have any comments you want to make, I'd love to hear them. So take care for now, folks. Keep watching YouTube, and bye for now.